Well, hey, what is going on, everybody? And so, welcome. Today is the day I'm going to be throwing out another tutorial for you guys. I know it's been a while since I've done a tutorial, but under these circumstances, I have to because not only for you guys, but so I won't forget how to do it again. But anyway, it's going over save files, guys, how to convert save files. So basically, a while back I did a tutorial on how to convert a PS1 game over into a package file, a PS4 package file, that way it could be installed on your PS4. But the problem is, guys, I did a game. It's a 2 disc game called Lunar, and though the program itself will accept 2 disc games, the emulator doesn't work with 2 disc games. What happened? I played it all the way. I don't know how many hours I had. It had a lot of hours, guys. But when I go to insert the second disc, it would basically, the emulator would start over, boot the second disc up, and then it will ask to insert the first disc. So it's basically looking at both discs as 2 separate games. It just doesn't work. So I didn't want to go back and redo the entire first disc on Retroarch, so I tried to find a way to convert it over, and I did. And so this is what this is about. If you guys ever run into that problem, now what this is good for, the program, if you have say like a Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 or something like that, you can actually package them, all 3 of them together, and you can switch between the 3 within the same package. Which is pretty cool, but still I would like to be able to play multi-disc games like Final Fantasy and Grandia, stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm going to show you how I went about all this, guys, and grabbing the save file from the PS4 and converting it over for Retroarch use. And also I'm going to show you guys how you can switch discs in Retroarch, because there's a file that you need to create in order to be able to do that. So I'm going to show you that also. Alright, so let's just jump right into this, guys. Waste no more time. Get this thing rolling. How about that? Alright. Okay, guys, so to get us started, and depending on why you're watching this tutorial, what you're doing, you may need to download a few things here. We're definitely going to need the memory card editor, guys. You're definitely going to need that no matter what. This is the main tool that we'll be using in this tutorial. Now, if you're dealing with a PS4 like I am, you might want to go ahead and grab up the Apollo Save tool and go ahead and install it on the PS4 if you haven't already. And if you're working with online saves, just go ahead and download a save, guys, online. And let me show you guys where you're going to download these from. And all these links will be in the description, so don't worry about it, guys. Okay, so this is where you're going to grab up your memory card editor, guys. This is the version 1.9. I'll be working with the 1.8. I did not realize that they had 1.9 out until right before I done this tutorial. So I don't know all the changes, all the the options and things like that they may have added to this thing. So I'm not going to be working with the 1.9. I'll be working with the 1.8. So you may be able to get the 1.8 somewhere online. I'm not sure. Pretty sure you will, yeah. But come over here. Here's a tab you'll click on to download the memory card editor. As for the Apollo Save tool, guys, you'll come here and just scroll down, and there's your package file right there. If it doesn't show up, just come over here to Assets and click on it. It will pull down this little window here. And there's your download right there. Just download the package file. Awesome. Now, as for your saves, there's two places that I know, guys, that you can get some saves from. And one site is this one here, the Tech Game. The other site is GameFAQs.com. You can go there and get some. So feel free to go with either one. You can type in your game here, guys, and it should pop up down here, all these saves that it has for it. Pretty cool. Okay, so now what I got to do, guys, I got to hop on over to the PS4 there, and I got to grab up some of those saves and from the game that I'm working with, which is Lunar, and I'll be using the Apollo save tool to pull those saves from the PS4. So let's go on over to the PS4, guys, and I'll meet you over there. Alright. Okay, guys, so here we are on my PS4, and I forgot to mention while I was on the computer, guys, to have a USB stick handy, because you will need a USB stick plugged up to your PS4, because that's what we're going to be pulling those save files onto. So make sure you have a USB stick with a couple hundred megabytes of free space, because I mean the saves are not that big anyway. So yeah, just want to remind you guys of that. So what I'm going to do, guys, this is my package file that I compiled with that program using the PS1 ISOs. So here we go, guys. I'm going to jump into this. I'm going to show you my saves, and I'm also going to show you what happens when I try to change disk using this method here. All right, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so here's the three files, guys, that I have, these save files. Mike's Tower Top here, this is like right before you switch over to the second disk. So I'm going to go ahead and load that up for you guys. Once we get it loaded up, I'm still going to jump forward a little bit, so it won't take so long. Alright, so here's Mike's Tower, finna get into the balloon there. To go to the frontier. What I'm going to do, I'm going to jump forward a little more, guys, and I'm going to load up this one right here. This is like right after we got in the balloon.
Alex, look at the size of that tower. Is Luna really in there?
She's in there, and so is Galleon.
Okay, so here we are. Please insert disk 2. So what I'm going to do is hit the options button on the controller. I'm going to go to change disk, go to disk 2, and hit yes. And so pretty much what it's going to do, guys, is it's going to completely reboot the emulator and start all back over again. I'm going to be starting with the second disk, but then eventually ask you to insert disk 1 again. So it doesn't work. I'm going to figure out a way to see anything online, but I don't know. We'll see. See, as you can see, it completely started over. It shouldn't have done that, guys. It should have just continued on with that cutscene, but it didn't. So that's that. So we're going to jump out of that, guys. And what I'm going to do now, I'll go over to the Retroarch here, and I'll show you guys the saves that I got on it. I'll show you that I don't have any saves whatsoever on it. Alright. See, as you see, it says loaded disk right there, so we're good there. Okay, as you see, no saves whatsoever, guys. So now let's go over to the Apollo save tool, and we'll grab those saves up and go back to the computer, guys. Alright, open it up. Okay guys, so we're going to scroll over to HDD saves, and we're going to go into that. And what we got to do here, we got to find our game ID. It's not going to say the name of the game off to the left there, but we do need to go down to where it says memory card. Memory cards. What we're looking for is the SLUS 00628 right here. This is the one we need. Alright, so we're going to simply hit the X button, and we'll go down to copy save game, and we're going to simply copy it over to the USB 0. And that's it. Now we can head over to the computer, guys, and we'll get converting it over real quick. How about that? Okay, see you over to the computer, guys. Okay guys, so in this part of the tutorial, I'm basically going to show you two things in this part. So the first part obviously is we're going to get this save converted over where we can use it for Retroarch. Also, the other thing I was going to show you is the file that we're going to create that will allow us to change disks in Retroarch. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me plug up my USB stick here to the computer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and create a folder here. We're just going to call it about Lunar save. Alright. This right here, we don't need this, and guys, this was just temporary. We're going to delete that one. So yeah, this is the folder that the Apollo save tool created when we pulled that save off. So we can go into that, in this folder, and you kind of, guys, you really want to save this folder. You don't want to pull it off the USB stick, because if you ever want to, say, take another save file from, like, say, online and convert it over into this format, you'll need this folder, because this is what the Apollo save tool created specifically for that game. Okay. Alright, so here we are. We're confronted with two files here. I wouldn't worry about this one. This is memory card 1, memory card 2. Our save was on memory card 1. So what we want to do, we're going to copy memory card 1 out, and we're going to paste it right in here. So there we are. Now we're going to open up our editor. Okay, here's our editor right here, guys. And let me see if I can't get this thing. Let me pull this down and pull this up. How about that? That'll work better that way, right? Alright, so what you're basically going to do, guys, you're going to take this file and just drag it up into one of these free slots. That's all you're going to do. Okay, there's our 3 saves that we had. Okay, so now what we want to do is go up here to File, and we're going to go to Save As. So basically what we want to cut, let's see, yikes, this is where it gets messed up here. Alright, so let's just go ahead and do this. Don't worry about that. I was fixing to show you what to rename it, but we'll do that here in a minute. What you want to save it as is a MCR file, guys. Okay, an MCR file, and we're gonna save it into this folder here. Open it up, and we're gonna save it. I guess I just name it Lunar first, just so we can save it in there. It wants to be picky. Okay. And there we go. We got the MCR file. But we can't use that file in Retroarch, guys. We can't use that file. So we got to simply just rename that extension, guys, to SRM. That's the file extension that we need. So we're all set. We're good to go on that. But we're not quite done yet. So what we have to do now, did I close that doggone? I'll close that doggone thing out. And we don't need that right yet. And so let's just go into this, and we'll pull up that my USB stick again, and we'll go into PS1 games. I'll go into Lunar. Go to rename, and from this point back, that's what we're going to have to name that save. Should be named just like that, the same name as the game name, except without the disc 1 or disc 2, just the simple basic name of the game. Okay, that's all we have to do, guys. This save right here will work now for Retroarch. Now, as for the file we need to create to be able to switch disk in Retroarch is this file, the M3U file. So basically what we have to do is just create, let me go ahead and just get out of that right there. Basically what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to create a text file. Okay? And what you're going to do, you're going to go into that text file, and you're going to rename, not that one. It's going to be that you want to get a hold of the Q files here. So go to rename and just rename this entire Q file, and then copy. Just highlight it. You're not changing the name of it. You're just going to simply just paste the name of that inside this text editor here. So now we need to grab up second disk, copy, and paste it in there just like that, and save it. Now what you want to do, guys, is you want to rename it the same as we did the save file, the basic name of the game. This is Lunar Silver Star Story Complete USA. Okay, rename, paste. That's good. And now what we have to do, we have to change the extension. We don't have to use no program to convert it over or anything like that, guys. We're simply going to take that text extension and rename it to M3U. And that's all you do. And you create a folder, you put your game in there, and then you'll just simply just drag and drop that file right inside where the game's at. Okay, and once you get into Retroarch, you want to load the game up by using this file. Don't click on the disk 1 or anything like that, guys. You just use this to load it up, and I'll show you here in a little while. Alright, so now we got to get that we got to get this save over there onto the PS4. So let me start my PS4 up, guys, and I'll be right back. All right. Okay, guys, so here we are on the PS4 once again. I'm sorry for going back and forth, whatever like that, guys, but this seems to be the way I'm going to have to get this tutorial done. But anyway, what we got to do now, we got to start up our FTP server, guys. There's a couple ways you can do that. You can go into Gold Hen here, and you can go to server settings, and you can enable the FTP server from here using port 2121, or you can do it the way I do it, and I go to PS4 Explorer. Just like that. To get the FTP server going on this, you would need to push down on the left analog stick, and right there at the bottom it says FTP is active. So we're going to go to FileZilla on the computer. We're going to type this IP address in using port 21. Okay, so let's hop on back over to the computer, guys, and we'll open that FileZilla up, and we'll copy that file over, and then we'll come back to the PS4 to conclude the tutorial. Awesome, let's do this. Okay, guys, so let's get that file copied on over to the PS4, and so in order to do that, we got to boot up the old FileZilla. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, install new version. Heck no, we don't need that. Alright, so let's type in that IP address that's on the PS4, which is 192.168.137.174. Okay, and we're using port 21. Quick connect here. Alright, now we need to bring this over, and we'll just make it big like that, guys. Okay, so the directory that we're going to use, guys, is right here. We're going to go into this data folder. We're going to go into Retroarch, and then we're going to go into the save files folder. And here's all our saves for different games: Castlevania, Cybercore, Grandia, Hartford Park. Yeah. So what we're basically going to do is just drag and drop this file over, guys, and we'll just overwrite the other one, because that's when I went into a Retroarch, it created another SRM file, but there's still no saves on it. But we're just going to overwrite that file that it created. Okay, there we go, and we are done, guys. So let's go back to the PS4 and see what kind of saves we got going on here. All right. All right, guys, so we're at the final part of the tutorial. We're back here on the PS4, and we're going to shut off the FTP server. And how you do that, guys, you're going to go over here on the controller to the right analog stick, and you're simply going to just press down on it. That should shut it off. All right. As for the directory, you would go into data. You go down to Retroarch. There's our save files there, and these are all the save files for Retroarch right here, guys. There's the one we just put in there. Alright, the save states are here for Retroarch. So that's about it there. Let's just go out of it, guys, and we'll head on over to Retroarch. Okay, so guys, I could boot the game up from here, but I really wanted to show you guys the M3U way to do it using that file that we had created. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to load the core up. I personally use the rearmed. I haven't had any problems with it, guys, so that's the one I use. So now we're going to load the content up. And there's our M3U file right there, guys. Now the first time that I clicked on this, guys, it failed to load. Now I don't know why. Maybe it created some kind of a config file or something like that, or whatever. I don't know, but the second time I tried it, it booted right up, and it hasn't done that since. So that's that. And so if you look, once I click on it, if you look at the bottom left hand of the screen, it will show what disk was loaded up, guys. Alright, so check this out. See, there you go. It loaded disk 1 and it said tray 1 of 2 or something like that. Okay, and there they are, guys. There's our 3 files from the package file. So we're going to go to Mike's Tower Top. Alright, so I do have a quick save on this one, like a save state. So I'm gonna bypass this part right here and get closer to where I have to, you know, change the disk out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna go load state.
Alex, look at the size of that tower. Is Luna really in there?
She's in there, and so is Galleon.
Okay, please insert disk 2. So what we're going to do, we back out of the game, guys, and we'll scroll down to where it says disk control. Okay, we'll click into that, and what we want to do is go to eject disk, hit the X button, and it should put us on this current disk index option here. What you want to do is use the D-pad for 1 or 2, whatever. You can actually hit the X button and move it like this too, and just check it off like that right there, and then just hit the X button to insert the disk. And there we go, the cutscene continues, unlike the other one where it just cut off and restarted. So yeah, guys, appreciate you guys watching this crazy messed up video. I did kind of rush through it, but anyway, it was kind of like the last minute thing. I wanted to get it out before I forgot how to do it. But that's that, guys. So I'm going to close this out, and I will see y'all guys next time. I hope it helped you guys out. Maybe it don't necessarily have to, you have to convert files for the PS4. I mean, it could be anything really, guys. Any emulators you can convert over. But anyway, that's how you do it in this particular situation that I ran into. So that's that. So again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on whatever I get myself into, whether it be a gameplay or tutorial or whatever, guys, whatever I get myself into. All right, see you guys later. All right.